Hello friends, I welcome you all to Nandip Academy for UPSC and MPSC. In this session, we are going to analyze the Hindu editorial dated 7th January 2021. Let's begin with the first article, which is titled Building by Accord. So we are going in this segment, we are going to first understand what is the crux of this article, what is it revolving around, and we are also going to see vocabulary so that you will easily understand the article, and then we will read the article and focus on the important points that you need to know in the article. So let's begin by discussing the vocabulary. Accord. What is the meaning of the word accord? It's a verb which means harmonious or consistent. Indelibly. Indelibly is an adverb which means something that cannot be removed. Infirmity. Infirmity is a noun which means physical or mental weakness. Edifices. It's a noun which means large, imposing buildings. Descended. It means it's a verb which means fall downwards. Vitiated is a verb which means to spoil. Colossal is an adjective which means extremely large. Germane is an adjective which means relevant to subject under the consideration. Wheel is a noun which means a mark that is left behind. So let's read the article Building by Accord. So this is an article about the Central Vista project that is coming up in New Delhi, that is going to house the parliament. And here we're going to discuss the cost of this project, the relevance of this project, and should the project be taken up at a time when the Indian economy is already devastated by the pandemic. So, what is important? Is construction of the new vista more important, or giving or restructuring the economy and also helping it come out of the COVID pandemic? Is that important? That is what is discussed in this article. So let's read the article. Beyond judicial clearance, Central Vista should be able to achieve national consensus. So it is not only that the judiciary, or it is not only the people who are at the law, they should give approval to this project, but national consensus. The citizens of the country should also be happy with the construction of this project at a time when so the COVID pandemic has taken a death toll on so many citizens of the country. So will the citizens be happy with the implementation of this project? With the Supreme Court's 2-1 judgment clearing the Central Vista project for New Delhi, the Narendra Modi government can now indelibly reshape the national capital's visual landscape. So these are the two judges, that is Justice A.M. Khanvelkar and uh, Justice Dinesh Maheshwari found. So Justice Khanvelkar and Justice Maheshwari, they found no infirmity in the approvals which is granted by the Central Vista Committee, Delhi Urban Art Commission and Heritage Conservation Committee and other bodies, paving the way for a new parliament building and other edifices of the government to come up. So in the three-bench judge which gave the judgment regarding the Central Vista project, there were two who favored and they gave no objection to the construction of this building. But there is a third member who is Justice Sanjeev Khanna, while agreeing with the majority opinion on the call for a bid. So Justice Khanna, he has agreed with the calling for a bid for the construction of this project. He's agreed with the award, and he's also agreed with the decision of the Urban Commission. What is he not agreed? He has dissented on the issues of public participation in the entire excess, which vitiated the endorsement of land use exchange. So this is the issue over which Justice Khanna has not agreed. And what does he have to say? Governments should naturally should be free to plan policies and programs on behalf of the people with no prior restraint. With no prior restraint, but subject to judicial review to ensure accountability. So this is what Justice Khanna is saying, and he feels that national consensus is more important, and also judicial review. The project also should be subjected to judicial review. So what is judicial review? Now, judicial review is the power of the Supreme Court, wherein it may invalidate any law which is against the basic structure of the Constitution. So it is true that many policies, many projects can be given a go ahead and on considering that there is a consensus given by the citizens of the country, but this also has to be subjected to judicial review. Judged against this principle, the center is simply exercising its privilege to plan a new set of buildings to house its establishment and the federal legislature. So here, what is the purpose of the Central Vista project? It is for the housing of the federal legislature of the country. While the final cost estimate is unclear, planned expenditures and the excess of 13,450 crore. That is a very, very big amount for among other things. So this is not even the exact amount that is going to be spent on the construction of this new Vista project. Now, why we are focusing on the cost of the project? It is because already the economy is devastated and it needs a lot of influx of a lot of funds. And at such a time, can the country expect to spend so much on a project? A new central secretariat, vice president's enclave, and the prime minister's residence, besides 971 crore for a new parliament. So this is what is going to come up as a part of the Central Vista project. It's not only about the parliament, but it is also a new secretariat. It is a vice president's enclave is also a part of the project. With a national consensus, such a colossal plan may be a crowning achievement for the 75th year of the independence in 2022. Now, this is again very important that the construction of the Central Vista is coinciding with the 75th year of the independence in 2022. No doubt this is a very big achievement for the country to celebrate the 75th year. But again, the timing is wrong. What is germane to question, however, is its inappropriateness in a year of unprecedented disruption due to COVID-19. So, this is the major crux of this article. Construction of this new Central Vista is not a problem to celebrate the 75th year of independence, but the timing is wrong because of the disruption. This is when an elected government must give its undivided attention to schemes for the common weal and not to be tempted by extravagant indulgence. So, this is a time when the government has to decide its priority. What is more important? Is extravagant expenditure more important, or is focusing on schemes for the common man more important? So it is up to the government to decide whether um, Central Vista is more important or the common man is more important. Let's move on to the second article. The second article is titled The Pursuit of Assange, and it is an article that is about the Wikileaks founder Julian Assange, and it is about the the demand of extradition by the US government. And currently, Julian Assange is in the judicial limits of the British government, and his case is being tried there. The US is demanding his extradition, and the UK government has given a judgment. So we'll discuss all those issues in this. Let's first focus on the vocabulary. The first word is pursuit, which means to follow, which is a verb. The second is benign, pronounced as benign. It means mild, not threatening, and it is again a verb. The next word is extradition. Extradition is a verb which means to deliver a person. One jurisdiction delivers a person who is accused to another jurisdiction. So here we are talking about the extradition of Julian Assange. Let's read the article and find out what exactly is it saying. The US must take a more benign view of the WikiLeaks and drop Assange's prosecution. Now, why is the article focusing on the US taking a benign view, a more kind view, not a very threatening view, a mild view? That is because what Assange has done is he has actually published sensitive information, and it is open to the public. But when we see the other side of the coin, we can say that this sensitive information has actually opened up the wrongs which is done by the US military on innocent Afghan people. So this is a question whether the information that was sensitive or whether it is information that should have been open to the public domain, and therefore the benign view. The decision by a British district judge to block the extradition of Julian Assange to the US on the grounds of his mental health is a temporary setback to America's effort to try the WikiLeaks founder under its law on spying charges. So, this is what the article is about. The UK court, on mental health grounds, has said we will not extradite Julian Assange as of now. This is actually a temporary victory for Julian Assange's followers and supporters, but it is a temporary setback for America because they have been demanding his extradition for a long time on spying charges. America has labeled that Julian Assange's WikiLeaks has actually published very sensitive and classified information. In her ruling, Judge Vasena Barrister said the mental condition of Mr. Assange is such that it would be oppressive to extradite him to the US. So it is because of his mental condition that the extradition has stopped as of now. While it is a small victory for his lawyers and supporters, their fight to prevent his extradition and secure his freedom is far from over. This is only a temporary victory for his supporters because this does not mean ruling by Judge Vanessa does not mean that in future he will not be extradited to the US. Judge Barrister has blocked his extradition only on medical grounds because she thought his possible detention in isolation in the US would likely is likely to result in a suicide attempt, and that is why she has actually stopped his extradition. So let's see what do we need to know about some other important terms that are used in this article. So first is WikiLeaks. What is WikiLeaks? WikiLeaks is actually an international non-profit organization that publishes news, leaks, and classified media, which is provided by anonymous services. So anybody can give classified and sensitive information, and WikiLeaks will publish that information in the interest of the general public. The ruling of Justice Vanessa is temporarily in favor of Julian Assange. And what is it that US wants? US wants to um, US wants to prosecute Julian Assange on multiple charges of breaking spying laws. He's on also on hacking a military computer that belongs to US, and they are continuously demanding his extradition. So these are some of the charges that the US has labeled against Julian Assange. So the US would likely to result in a suicide attempt. She rejected the defense lawyer's argument that Mr. Assange's prosecution was politically motivated and violated his rights to free expression. She also observed that his conduct took him outside the role of investigative journalism, agreeing with the US authorities' assertion on WikiLeaks. Mr. Assange, who is wanted in the US on multiple charges of breaking espionage laws. So these are the charges which have been labeled against Mr. Assange. That is, he has broken the espionage laws, he has hacked a military computer, has repeatedly defended his organization's operations, terming them in public interest journalism. So, what does Mr. Assange say? Mr. Assange believes that he has done nothing wrong and he has actually done what his organization is working for, and what he has done is public interest journalism. This is what he is focusing on. US prosecutors allege that he helped US Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning crack an encrypted password and download classified information, the leaking of which endangered American intelligence sources. Now, there is there is a doubt about this, that whether the information that was leaked by WikiLeaks was actually classified information, and did it really endanger American intelligence sources, because it is believed that the information that Chelsea Manning encrypted or downloaded has actually brought in front of the world the injustice that was committed by the world's superpower. The Justice Department also claims that he has conspired with hackers to obtain classified information. Now, this is actually very doubtful. It is really ironical that US, which takes pride in its freedom and commitment to protecting human rights, is relentlessly pursuing a man who exposed some of the worst rights violations by an American military. Until WikiLeaks released the classified information that Ms. Manning downloaded, the world believed that the July 2007 killings of a dozen Iraqis, including two Reuters staffers, happened in a firefight with the US aircrew. But video footage by WikiLeaks showed the aircrew laughing after they killed 12 innocent people. So this is why uh, Julian Assange is wanted by the US. He has leaked that information which has actually exposed the US aircrew, an incident that took place in 2007. Before the WikiLeaks information was out, it was believed that it was a firefight had taken place between the US aircrew and the Iraqis. But after the WikiLeaks, it is believed that this was done deliberately, it was done on purpose because the US crew was caught laughing after killing of the 12 innocent people. WikiLeaks files also exposed the killings of hundreds of Afghan civilians by the US forces. Now, this is again human rights violation. These were incidents that the US has swept under the carpet, and the WikiLeaks has undoubtedly done public service, allowing the questioning of the conduct of war by the world's supreme military power. So, what is classified information? Classified documents, classified information is sensitive information that the government deems to be protected, and it shouldn't be brought into the public view. That is classified information. So, this is why US was not very happy with the WikiLeaks bringing to public domain all this information. Instead of accepting its military mistake, the US went after the messenger. What is First Amendment? So in US, sensitive or leaked information that is published by news media is protected under the First Amendment. A reason why the Obama administration decided against prosecuting WikiLeaks. So WikiLeaks, the Obama. Now, what is the role of Obama administration, the Trump administration, and the Biden administration? We need to understand that. Obama administration has protected the First Amendment, wherein any information that is classified information, if it is published by the news media, it is protected under this, and that is what Obama administration followed, and they did not want or demand an extradition of Julian Assange. On the other hand, the Trump administration went against the Obama administration and the reverse track, and they went behind Julian Assange. Now, coming to the new administration, the Biden administration, the Biden led administration must rethink predecessor's approach. It is unfortunate that a fresh bail application, which is filed by Mr. Assange's lawyers, was rejected by a British judge on Wednesday. The British legal system should take a benign view of his condition and of his cause. So now everything, we can say the ball is now in the court of the British legal system, because it is up to them to decide whether they will take whether they will pity his condition and his cause, because his cause was, although he has leaked sensitive information, but that sensitive information has brought to the world the excesses of the US military. So now it is up to the new administration, whether the new US administration, whether they demand an extradition of Julian Assange, or now it is also up to the British legal system whether they have a pity on his condition, and they also defend his cause, which was for the public domain. Thank you. See you in the next online session with a new editorial analysis of the Hindu. Thank you.